Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with the Arduous Moth. Today I want to talk about possible tier 3 tanks for Steel Titans, because tier 3 is more or less around the corner. So we will talk about it. The first tank I really want to talk about is the Panzer IV with the Panthers Sturm Smolten turret. Sorry, I can't say that right. This could be a possible tier 2 to tier 3. If this is tier 2, the reload will probably be around like a 8 or 9 second reload. If it's tier 3, it will probably have the same, if not slightly quicker reload than the Panzer IV-J. The turret traverse will be a lot quicker than the Panzer IV-J. And of course the gun will have more pen. So if this is tier 2, this could use the same round, if not a similar APCR round, do similar damage to the VK36 we have in game, that has the 75/55mm gun. Basically, it's like a squeeze ball gun where as the shell travels down, the shell gets compressed and flies faster. So the Panzer IV-S or the Panzer IV Smolten, I do apologize if I'm saying that wrong, but this could be a pretty interesting tech tree. I don't really see it being a premium because it's not that interesting as a premium. Like it's not, it's just a Panzer IV J hull or Panzer IV H hull with the Panther's turret, the Panther F's turret. If you don't know what the Panther F looks like, I can look it up. Panther F. So this is the Panther F. I don't think anyone made in real life. I will have to double check that. But this could be a pretty interesting tank in Steel Titans. The next tank I wish to talk about, and I can't see it here, but it is effectively a T-34-85 with the Tiger's 88mm KWK-36L56 gun. Now this could be a very good tier 3, probably premium. Of course it will be a captured, so it will be in the German tech tree instead of the Russian tech tree or the Soviet tech tree. The gun mantlet will be remodeled, so it would have that big, like, Tiger 1 block, which covers most of the turret. So instead of the turret being around 90, it will probably be like 110, 120, meaning that you will get quite a few bounces on the turret. The hull, 45mm, but I believe the T-34-88 has improved armor at the front. I'm not entirely sure. I will have to go onto my console and look at the T-34-88. Angling this tank, you will get around 100mm on the side, and then around 70mm with the 45mm plate. Of course, if it has the enhanced plate, then you're looking at probably like 100mm. Gun depression is 7 degrees, but I think it's around 5 or 4 degrees with the 88mm gun, because the turret isn't changed at all. It's just got an 88mm inserted into it. The other tank that everyone has been asking me to talk about is the good old KV-2 with the 152mm gun. Now, honestly, wait, am I looking at the wrong? Oh no. Oh, a minute, give me a sec. There you go. So this thing will get two AP rounds. I think one is the anti-concrete round, and the other one is an AP armor-piercing cap round. And then the last one's high explosive. Obviously, the high explosive is going to be completely useless within Steel Titans because I don't know why, but the moderators or the developers, they are heavily against high explosive. Not entirely sure why. Um, I've tried high explosive on every tank, and either the only tanks you can really, really mess up are tanks like the Gutschon wagon or the 88. Like even the flak bus. This thing can sometimes survive HE, shells. The KV2 with the 152mm M10T, there should be a T behind the 10, the M10T gun. It will probably have this turret instead of the MT2. It'll have the MT1 turret, which doesn't really change anything except the fact that it's got slightly worse turret for us. The reload is not terrible. I mean, this is World Tank stats, so it's like 24-second reload. 152, it will probably have like probably like a 22 to 21-second reload, so not a terrible reload. It will probably be rather underpowered in the mobility department because it is effectively just literally a KV1. So this thing with a huge fridge turret on. So 600, and this thing is already unmaneuverable enough. Having a big old I think it's like a 12-ton turret on this hull is really going to impact it. If we actually look at the stats, the engine power is 640. It's most likely got, wait, really? $528. Don't know what it is. Let's improve the engine power. We can't improve it at all. Basically, this thing, it will be extremely situational. It will be a very, very situational machine. The chance of you actually being able to do anything with this thing is probably going to be very, very low because not only do you have no armor on this thing whatsoever, of course you have a crap ton of armor in the gun breech and everything. Like in this part here, you've got a lot of armor. But I would say this will probably be a good tier 2. Honestly, not entirely sure where it fit. You would probably have a branch off from the KV1, which leads to a KV1 with probably an 85mm, and the 85mm I'm talking about is with the F30 gun, I believe it's called. So, of course, KB there. Typical. So this can install. Does it install? It says Jesus. So if we look at the KV1, so this is with the F30 gun. And this is the tank which could lead off from this. Of course, you could probably see any. No, there isn't. So the first tank, I believe, would probably have this gun, 57mm. It will probably have a pretty high rate of fire, probably like a 5 or 6 reload time. The penetration will be rather high, but not, terribly high. The armor will be the same as the KV-1L11. It's basically just the KV-1L11 with a different gun. That's literally it. The next tank would probably be the will probably be like a KV1 Cis 5 maybe. So is there any here? Cis 5, yeah. So KV1S, it will be just a KV1S with no, sorry. It'll be a KV1 with the upgraded turret with the Schutz mod 1942 turret, which surprisingly has quite a bit of armor. When I mean quite a bit of armor, I literally mean quite a bit of armor. Like, this thing hold down will probably survive a ridiculous amount of rounds. The penetration of the Cis 5 isn't spectacular. It will have the same pen. So you're looking at, 87, 102, 85 and whatnot. You just the same rounds. So you have the KV1 with the 57mm here. So you have the previous move down, and you have a new line. So KV1, 57mm here. KV1 with these the 76 is 5, and then you would probably have like KV2 here, or maybe a KV1 with the 85mm. And this 85mm is, well, you're effectively a T-34-85 but on a KV1. So it's like a hybrid. Obviously the F30, it has decent pen. I mean, it has the same pen as the 57mm. This thing will probably reload like every, say, if we look at the 85mm of the SU-85, get out my face. That's 11.6-second reload. So it'll probably have like a 12-second reload, or 12.5-second reload here. And tier 3, you'll probably go on with a KV1 with the, well, probably not even a KV1, probably a KV2. Pause that. Don't want to get copyrighted. Probably a KV2. No, that's a KV1S. Doesn't help. KV2 with the 122mm before we get the KV2 with the 152. So it will probably, oh, for God's sake, it will probably look something like this. So this 122 will probably have the same reload as the KV122. The KV122 will most likely be moved to either where the T-34M is right now, or it will be moved to tier 3. Or, honestly, the 122, it would have the same rounds as the KV122. But it would just be a much bigger target. Much bigger target. So instead of being like this rather small, rather compact target, you would have a absolute massive fridge of a target. So then after the 122, you get the 152, and this thing would probably just absolutely just take a dump on everything. 86 millimeters of HE pen. This will, well, if we look at the HE pen of the KB122, I would really like if that HE pen was changed to 61 millimeters, because honestly, I think HE needs to have a place in the game. Um, but yeah, so this thing will probably just take a dump on everything with light to medium light armor. Of course, you know, tanks like the VK-36 or tanks like the Tiger 1, Panther, uh, you know, Panzer 5-4, KV-1s, or, you know, like T1 heavies, M6 heavies, you know, things like that, will be able to absorb most shells fired from this massive gun. But of course, if you get the side, then you don't even need to ammo rack a tank to one hit it. This thing will probably have enough damage in its shell to even one hit tier 4 tanks. Tier 4 tanks could, you know, you could see like IS-3s and whatnot. But yeah. Also, the other thing is tank destroyers. After the SU-85, I think that the most exciting thing is seeing an SU-100 with the 100mm D10S. Now, this thing would have 175mm pen, probably in the game, probably like 150mm pen, depends, really. I mean, in game right now, this thing has 148, so 175 isn't crazy at tier 3. Of course, I would like a cap where tier 1s can't meet tier 3s. That would be pretty interesting. I would like that. But an SU-100 is just basically an up-armored, up-gunned version of the SU-85. So instead of having 45, you have something like 75mm, which makes you a hell of a lot more survivable. Gun mantlet, 52. Yeah, the gun mantlet is very, very, very survivable. So you're looking at 150mm on the gun mantlet. The gun itself is a 100mm. So you're looking at quite a disastrous gun. Like, if you see this thing, then you're probably just going to get absolutely annihilated. It'll probably have like a 13-14 second reload, probably longer than that. Probably around a 13-second reload, because it's tier 3, so it will have a better reload than the SU-85. But honestly, it'll be a pretty interesting thing. The other thing is seeing this this tank destroyer with D25S. Basically, it's a customized version of the D25T. This will be a pretty interesting. It will probably have like a 16-17 second reload, probably even an 18, because this thing will be more reliable than the KB122's dirt gun, and it'll have pretty quick shell velocity. It'll probably have the same stats as here. And honestly, this will probably be like either a tech treat or a premium. And the reason why I know that some of you guys probably, you know, already said, or have already typed in the comments, oh, why haven't you said that, you know, some of these tanks could be premium? Honestly, I think it's because the game already has enough premium tanks. I mean, I know that sounds a bit shitty of me to say, but I know the developers need to make money, but you don't want to over swamp your tank with premiums. This could make a pretty good premium tank at either tier 2 with a heavily nerfed reload, probably like 19 seconds, or tier 3 with probably a 15-second reload or 16-second reload, or even a 17. Again, it's basically KB122's gun, just long barreled. Um, so for the Germans, tank destroyers, I think that we've already got Panzer 4G, the Dickermax. Oh wait, what's this? No idea what that is. Anyway, um, for self-propelled guns um, like the premium self-propelled gun, it will probably go here, and it will probably be the Hummel with a 150mm gun. You'll probably see something like the if I can bring it up, you probably see something like the Sturmpanzer 2, which has a 150mm gun. It will probably do around the same damage as the Gutswagen, have a far longer reload because it will be a premium a tech tree, so you're looking at probably like a 15-second reload, probably even longer than that. It'll have zero armor. Like, when I mean zero armor, I literally mean zero armor. Like, this thing has literally no armor. Like, this thing will just get overmatched by everything. Of course, it would have a heat round with 98mm pen and then a HE round. The heat round will probably be buffed to like 130 or even 150mm pen to make it more effective. It'll come after the flak bus. Hopefully they take this into consideration. There is a slot here, so maybe the Panzer 4S can go here. That will be a pretty interesting thing. So, and of course, after the Sturmpanzer, you will probably get either the Nashorn or hang on, look at artillery. So you either get not the Nashorn, the Hummel or the Grillo. The Grillo, yeah, it will probably use the exact same gun as the Sturmpanzer. Probably quicker reload, same pen, same everything. It would just be smaller, so you'd be more sneaky. This will be very interesting. I would really, really like to see this thing. Really, really, really like to see this thing. So you have the Sturmpanzer, then you would have the Grillo, and then you would have the Hummel. That would be for tier 3. So if we look at the Hummel, 15cm. I think this is the tier 5 one. So again, this thing is basically the Nashorn, but with a 15cm gun. So it'll be a self-propelled gun. And then for tank destroyers, because the Nashorn is technically not a self-propelled gun, it's technically a tank destroyer. So if we have a look, so Nashorn will probably not be in the game. What comes over after the Hetzer will probably be this thing. It will probably get the Pack 42 L70. So effectively the same gun as the Panzer 4S or the Panzer the Panther with the L70 gun, and it'll be the first tier 3, and then after that you'll probably see something like mm, do we have the G in? Yeah. Oh no, that's Panzer 3G. Stug 3G. I do apologize. You could see maybe the Stug 4. Basically, imagine a Panzer 4J, but as a tank destroyer. So it would have the same gun as the Panzer 4J, but it would just be tank destroyer form. So you could probably put that here, move the Hetzer up to tier 3, because the Hetzer's already stupidly strong. In the right hands, it's already stupidly strong at tier 2. I think moving it up to tier 3. Like the KV-122, moving that up to possibly tier 3. Like this thing, moving that up to tier 3. And the E-10 moving up to tier 3. And then putting the Stug 4 there. And then moving the Hetzer. And then after the Hetzer, you can have the Jagdpanzer 4. And then after the Jagdpanzer 4, you could have something like the Jagdpanther, which will come with the L56. And the reason why I picked the L56 is because this isn't the L71, this is the L56. So, or you could go with the 105, I mean, it depends really. But the L56 would have basically the same pen as the PK3601H88. But it would just be like, like tank destroy form. For the Americans, now they've kind of flushed out the Americans. They know what they want for the Americans. For tank destroyers, now I can't really speculate because they've basically got it all sort of scripted out. So we'll miss the Americans. For the British, thank you. For the British, the first tank we could probably see, I don't even know what this thing is. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. The Matilda will most likely be a heavy tank. It will most likely be a heavy tank. The Ficus Mark II, this thing will most likely... Huh. It's very interesting. Right, so yeah, so this thing could be like tier 1 and whatnot. I'm not going to talk about the British right now, but I just wanted to talk about some of the tanks which I think would be perfect for tier 3. The Americans I haven't talked about tier 3 because they've basically got it fleshed out. But for the Russians and the Germans, I think that will be pretty damning. Yeah, good. Oh yeah, for the Panzer 3M line, I do apologise. I missed the Panzer 3M. If we actually go back to Germany, we could see maybe the we could see this thing after the Panzer 3M. So this thing isn't really, now I know that people are going to say, oh, but that's basically isn't that basically a Panzer 4F2? Well, not really. If you look at Panzer 4F2, it's just a box. It literally is just a box. If you look at the Panzer 3-4, it has these curves to it. It has these slopes. This would be perfect for coming after the Panzer 3M, because that would make the line better. Because the Panzer 3-4 just feels like a lighter version of the Panzer 4. Panther 3 just feels, you know, like a lighter version. Of course, it could probably get this gun, the L43, which fires, you know, 103, 139 and whatnot. It could probably have like a quicker rate of fire than your standard 75mm, but lower pen. So you're looking at quite a bit actually. So yeah, the turrets, turret could be this turret maybe, or it could be the Panzer 3-4 Oxford B turret with this gun. It depends, to be honest. It really does heavily depend. But yeah, what else? Panzer 4J, the Panzer 4 S could fit there, or maybe the Panzer 5-4 can fit there. Not entirely sure, but something could fit there. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy this video, give it a thumbs down. Put in the comment section. Do you agree with the tier 3 possible tanks that I've talked about? And would you like me to talk about the British tech tree or what the British tech tree could look like? I would like to hear you guys' opinions in the comment section below. Anyway, guys, I'm going to see you later. Peace!